Hi everybody, hope you're safe and well. In this video, I'm going to cover the second position and the scales that are in the Deluxe Position Studies book in second position. I have sent out pages 3 through 6, I believe, in the email. And I'm going to go over the notes in the second position and then the 3 scales of D, C, and A major, all major scales. And we're going to follow the fingering that the book asks us to subscribe to at the moment. We can talk about that in the live meetings a little bit more, but we'll stick to their fingering, which is fine. There's just alternatives to some of these fingerings in the way you play them. All of our test pieces will be covered on another video, and they'll all be in D major, which is the first scale introduced. So if I built a D scale, D to E is a whole step, E to F sharp is a whole step, F sharp to G is a half step, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, B to C sharp is a whole step, and then C sharp to D is a half step. So that is a 2 sharp scale, and we'll get to that one right after we introduce the notes. So I'm going to call the ascending notes as I go up sharp notes, the non-natural notes, and I'm going to call the notes when I'm descending flatted notes. So if I start in the 2nd fret, I have F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B, C, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A flat, G, G flat, E flat, D flat, C, B flat, A, G flat, F, E, D flat, C, B, A flat, G flat. So one of the things you'll notice right away, again, is that the sharps are ascending names and the flats are descending names. And then the big question that a lot of players notice and ask right away is, I'm playing the strings that I had done open before, like an open G, an open A, an open D. Those are now closed notes, which again, the question usually follows, why am I playing closed notes when I can play them open? It's much easier to play them open. Well, there's several reasons for that. One of the main reasons is when I am playing in different keys and I'm learning these scale fingerings, I can't always play an open string because that note might not be in the scale. So instead of a D, I might have a D flat and I can't play that open. Or instead of a G, I might have a G sharp and I can't play that open. Another reason is I may want an expressive way to play that note. So I want to do vibrato or hammer onto the note or pull off from that note. And I need to know how to do that in a closed position. And thirdly, another main reason, and there's probably even more, is that I need to know where all of the notes are at on my guitar. It opens up the door to many different techniques and playing 2 Gs at the same time, for example, and doing all sorts of different chord voicings and scale fingerings. So I need to know where every G is, not just the open G. I want to know that there's an open G, a closed G on the D string, a closed G on the A string, and even a closed G on the E string that are all the same note. And that is part of the beauty of learning that entire fretboard and really letting it open up for your technique and your abilities to express yourself and the songs you're trying to learn and play. So I've done the chromatic scale. I'm going to do the D scale now. Again, remember it has 2 sharps. It has an F sharp and a C sharp. And I'm going to start with the closed D on the 5th string, 5th fret. So instead of an open D, I'm going to play it closed. And you can see it even has a different tone. There's even another reason to play a closed note as opposed to an open note. They have different tones, and I may be looking for a darker or brighter sound. So here's D with my fourth finger. Index finger is E. F sharp is my third finger. G is my pinky. A is my index. B is my third finger. C sharp is my index on the B string, and there's the octave D. Okay, now in your book, they continue to play up in this position, and this is what we encourage as teachers, guitar teachers on the fretboard, is to know the whole position, not just the one octave scale, because if you're playing in that position, you're going to want to be able to read all the notes or access all the notes, I should say, to get to everything you need to in that position. So here's D, E, F sharp with my index finger. Notice the E was closed. G, and the high A. And that's really the new note that we have. All these other notes we've seen on the staff. That note A is a single ledger line above the staff. And in your book, it then goes backwards to G, F sharp, closed E with fourth, D, C sharp with index, B and A. G is closed, F sharp, E, and D. C sharp with my third finger, I'm going below the octave now. B, A, G natural, F sharp, and then it walks back to G, to A, to B, to C sharp, and D. So one of the things you want to do after you play this fingering is practice the one octave scale. I like to think of this in different ways, but one of the ways I approach learning a pattern like this is a fingering pattern. 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. Now this goes back to, again, playing closed notes, because now I'm not playing out any open strings. 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. I can play in any key now using that pattern and play up and down the fretboard with no open string. So there's the beauty of not using the open string for these types of scale fingerings. It's not that we don't want to or we want to omit them. Eventually we want them to really be integrated, and we can use both and even combine them in different ways for special effects. So once you've done that, then I would suggest playing the whole entire pattern. In this case, it's 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. 4, 2, 1, twice in a row, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, twice in a row, and of course the two E strings are identical. So you've got 3 strings that are the same fingering out of 6 there, 2 that are similar, and an oddball combination of only 2 notes. So these patterns aren't as crazy to memorize as you might think. You know, playing a few times is going to be a way to get them in your fingers and in your mind, and then when you come back to practice them, they will be more and more familiar, and pretty soon you'll be able to play that pattern in any position and name where the root is. For now, we'll say look for the lowest root, which is your pinky on the A string. So if I want an A major scale, I can go to the 12th fret, and I have a scale for reading or improvising or building a chord. Okay, so there's the D scale. I'm going to go to the C scale, I believe is the next one that's shown on page 5. And I'm going to put my middle finger on C, okay? So I've got C. These are all natural notes now. Again, remember, no sharps or flats in the key of C. 2, 4, that's closed D. E, F natural, closed G, A, closed B, C. There's the one octave pattern. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Very common pattern to be able to play a major scale up and down the fretboard. But again, your book, it covers the entire fret board position here. So I would go on to D natural, and this is where I would have to shift a little bit on this string. And the way they have it is you'd play the D with your middle finger, and then you'd play E and F with a slide. Now there's options to that, and again, we'll get into that. So I play D in the 4th position, E still in the 4th position, and then I move to the 3rd position to play F, G, and A. And I'm going backwards. G, F, I slide back from F to E, use my middle finger to play the D. 4, 3, 1 is C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. And we're not going to reach down to F, of course. In a real world situation, I could. Back up to A, B, and C. So again, the way that your book has it laid out, and I slipped my index finger in there too. So again, just to even mention a type of alternate fingering I could do here, I could play A, B, and C, and then move my index finger to D, E, and F. That would probably be a fingering I would lean towards myself, but there is no bad fingering in either one of those suggestions. You'll know a bad fingering when you see it after getting some more experience, because it'll be awkward and not fluid. Okay, but there are many good fingering alternatives. So there's your C scale, and I'll do one more. I'll do the A scale, which is a great 2-octave position played here at the 2nd position. It's a great scale because of the 2-octave nature. And in this scale, I have A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So we're dealing with 3 sharps, and we have the whole, half, whole, half pattern again. I'm starting on A, closed A, B, C sharp, 3rd finger, 4th fret, D, E, F sharp, and I shift down to G sharp and then back into position for A. B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, closed E, D natural, C, B with 3, C with 1, I'm sorry, B with 3, A with 1, G sharp is where I go out of position, and then I reach back for F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A, and of course if we play the whole position, we'd go down to G sharp, down to F sharp, and back up. And I'll play it the way the book has it written. So again, we're learning to read these different keys in the 2nd position. We had a few keys in the 1st position in our previous class. Some of you have done that recently. Some of you have not. But we have 3 keys there that we're playing in the 2nd position. And these are test questions for your performance test. So I would really, again, encourage you to get on them and start practicing them. D major, C major, A major, and then we'll get into some other scales in the 5th position, which will be choices as well. So take those fingerings, take those exercises, try to play them with the metronome up and down. And once you know the fingering, try to move it up and down your fretboard to different keys. Don't worry about spelling them so much. We'll get into more and more spelling as we go. Good luck and have a great day.